Bungoma County, Kenya's third most populated county with 1.63 million people, has 2 aspirants for governorship so far, although up to 7 names have been floated for possible governor aspirants, including the Assistant Minister in the office of the Prime Minister Alfred Kangati. It is only 2 men who have been crisscrossing the county trying to popularize their bid for governorship. It is still possible, however, that more contenders might emerge when MPs from the region decide whether they want to be senators or governors. One of those who want to be governor is the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Livestock Development, Kenneth Lusaka. He holds a master's degree in public policy and administration and was a long-serving district officer and district commissioner in over 6 districts before the Kibaki administration took over.
The constitution with the devolution kind of government, it gives us now an opportunity to be able to manage our affairs. Now, given my professional background, given my academic credentials, given my experience in the field, given my experience in the ministry as a permanent secretary, as an accounting officer, and as an authorized officer, I think it gives me a very good background to be able to come down to the county and provide leadership.
The other is Kenya's former press attaché to the United Nations in New York, Wabwoba Walinya Mukamula. He has a master's degree in international law and diplomacy and was a key figure in Bungoma in the civic education sector during the constitutional review process.
My exposure in the US, I understand how county systems work. And I think given a chance, I'll make a plus, not a minus, to the management of matters in Bungoma County.
Despite being very fertile and very strategically placed near the border with Uganda, Bungoma County has a poor population of over 53%. Only 23% of Bungoma is urbanized, with 67% rural population engaged in mostly agricultural work. Do these men understand what Bungoma needs?
The one biggest issue that I consider critical is reduction of poverty. Because as I said, at the end of the day, we can say nice things to each other. But if people cannot make $1 a day, surely you don't expect them to educate their children. You don't expect them to dress their children well. You don't expect them to live a life that is decent.
I want to make sure that as an agricultural-based county, it is up and running and it's working well. We are adding value to the products that we are producing. The farmers are happy, and when we do that, through our exports, we are going to assist this country.
With maize, sugar, milk, potatoes, bananas, and tobacco, Bungoma sits on immense agricultural potential, and the residents might demand of their governor a concrete plan to make wealth out of these.
The other factories, for example, the Malakisi Ginnery, which the government has pumped in money in this financial year, want to look at how we can revive, how we can encourage our farmers to plant more cotton, so that we go back to where Bungoma was. Then there is, of course, the obvious one, which is the pan paper in Webuye, which brings life to the residents of not only Webuye, but Bungoma County as a whole.
I'm looking at the old ways when we could produce cooking oil from cotton seed, cooking oil from simsim, cooking oil from groundnuts, cooking oil from sunflower, and that should be able to feed this county. I'm looking at packaging the potatoes in Mount Elgon. I'm looking at flour mills, which flour mills will not only create enough food, but it will also create cattle feed, chicken feed, pig feeds, and feeds that can improve our dairy industry.
The biggest demand from the large population will be for local jobs that can keep the youth occupied and generate sufficient incomes for the largely rural population.
If you create cottage industry, if I go to Webuye and ensure that we start now using our paper to create exercise books, we start creating carton boxes to package the things I've talked about, unga, maize meal, chicken feed, all of them will be packaged. If I start industries for bottling mineral water, I believe one of the things that will happen is that the youth will work in those factories.
I'm saying that the youth should organize themselves in groups, register them, and if possible, we help them open accounts. And once we get the budget in the county, we should be able to disaggregate and set aside money specifically to address youth issues.
The politics of Western Kenya is more fluid than their neighbors in Nyanza, and the jury is still out on exactly how much political affiliation will affect the governorship race in Bungoma County.
And within the next 3 weeks, I should be able to clearly indicate which side of the political divide that I belong.
I have said publicly, and if you are in leadership, you are better off carrying your burden. Me, I'm in New Fort, Kenya. And for now, that's how I'm operating. I believe as a politician, you go where your voters want to go.
Noah Utino, KTN for Spotlight 2012.